Well, hello and welcome back to another beautiful inky morning with me, Kieran Siemens, in my inky world. I have had a lot of questions about drawing the body and how to control structures in the body. So today we are going to get into drawing something where we can explore possibilities with drawing the body. So, if you're ready for some inky drawings and a little bit of mess and a little bit of fun and chat, let's do it. Well, hello and welcome. We're going to talk a little bit today about drawing the body, and I'm going to go through a couple of little basic things. One of the questions that keeps coming back to me is about my method of drawing with shapes and how to draw a full body with so much. Well, the thing that you need to do is you need to think about drawing the body as the head and trying to get into a couple of simple shapes that you can kind of draw the head and the chest and the hips. And again, we're just drawing very, very basic shapes. Then you can think about you're going to have a join there with the body. But that is your main. Your shoulders will be sitting on here, and you'll have another stick with a ball, with another stick with a ball, with another ball for your hand. And if you're keeping things in the simplest of structures like that, then everything will be very simple for you to kind of structure down. In the same way, everything is going to be into very, very, very basic shapes. And that will give you a structure that if you decide that then you want to draw a rabbit, then you can still draw a rabbit, and you can draw him with in a kind of human styled form, and you can give him very big feet, and you can kind of give him very kind of small hands. And the same way you're trying to build this structure up, the same way that if you're going to draw a dog, you can draw his back, you can draw his chest, and you can draw his head, and they are all joined in the same format. And you will have his legs in the same way that you're going to be drawing it in the back. And that will give you structures, that will give you basic structures to work from mentally. Now you can refine that, but and we will at some point, we will go in and really structure it down. But if you're thinking about the same chest, the same hip, you're basically moving a standing up form to a hunched over form to a standing on all four legs. So that's the basic structure that we're going to be working with today in our drawing. We will choose either one of those two, I guess, at this point. So that's a basic structure for it. And in many ways, people have also been asking about, do I do any kind of like pre-drawing? Why don't I need a pre-drawing? Well, the pre-drawing is that I've done most of these setups so many times that I don't really feel like I need to draw a pre-drawing. You know, I mean, I could get is there a biro or something? A pencil even. Okay. So I could draw a head structure, and I could draw a neck and a body structure, and I could draw that coming down to a hip, down to a foot, and I could do it in a kind of hunting type of pose, you know, like something like that. And that is the basic structures that I'll be putting in my mind, the basic structures for whatever, and the same structures will repeat. So what we're going to do today is we're going to try and get in, and we're going to try and draw something around that structure. I have no idea what it's going to be yet, but that's part of the fun. And that is where in most cases, it's where you can really kind of define your characters. I mean, we could take some of we could give them big ears like we did on the other sketch. And we could come up with some kind of mythical beast in some. And I do like the fact that by drawing in this way that it loosens up your mind. That you don't feel so kind of pressured into drawing everything so perfect that you can just say, well, this creature is anatomically and it's perfection because, well, it doesn't exist, you know. So that gives you a lot of kind of structure to have fun with. And structure is a lot of what we're talking about here. We're talking about, you know, trying to get to a point where, let's get in and draw some eyes, where we can kind of get to a point where we're enjoying the process of the drawing more than what the final drawing is. And that is something that becomes, for me, the meaning of drawing. The meaning of drawing is mostly about the processes. That's why at the moment I don't have like this great desire to be selling millions of prints and what. It's because I love the process so much. It's kind of like doing some kind of deep meditation or something, and then trying to work out how you can sell that deep meditation that you've just done. It's like, it doesn't really have much kind of bearance to it. It's like people might get great feelings from one of my drawings or owning a series of my drawings, but it still will never beat the feeling that I feel from my own, from the fact that I've designed this creature, whatever this creature is going to be, and the whole drawing process. And what can we do with that? We could come up with something. Okay, let's give him. Let's give him some kind of. We're going to give him some kind of a strange kind of creature. And this is giving a lot of flexibility to your thoughts also. The structure will be based on some kind of man-like form as I've just sketched it out for you. But the coating on that, the jacket, will be the character. And that can be really whatever you wish it to be. You know, you can do a kind of horse creature on a man's body. You could do an elephant's creature. You could do a rat creature. You could do whatever your heart desires, and you could do it in a way that you can build it on any kind of structure that you wish. Now, do I give him a nose? Do I not give him a nose? These are the only questions that you need to ask yourself. Broken a nib. I'm breaking so many nibs these days, really. And I quite like the feeling of drawing a monster or a a mystical beast in the way that it kind of lets your sketching be very free. That you're not having pressures of what does it look like and should it look like this and should it be like that. And I love that. I love the fact that let's get rid of some of that ink. And I love the fact that if I drew a nose or I didn't draw a nose, it would make a completely different creature. And yes, of course, you are going to have that battle. Of course, your second brain is going to be saying, do that, do that, do that, let's go crazy, let's go. And your panicking first brain is going to be going, whoa, what happens if it doesn't work? What happens if it looks ugly? What about... And you have to decide which one you're going to listen to. Now, I kind of like the idea that my second brain pulls me in a kind of naughty boy type of feeling, it sometimes pulls me to say, well, let's draw that, let's do this, let's do that, let's shade this in, let's draw that, and that excites me. But in the same time, sometimes that fear makes you listen to brain one. And I kind of like that. I kind of like the fact that see, if you're mentally drawing this out, sketching it out mentally, I just check my numbers. If you're sketching it out with here I did a little blue pen just to demonstrate for you, but I don't have to do that, Once you kind of know, once you've sketched in your sketchbook 1,000,000 times, and you will get to that point where you're sketching in your book and you'll be sketching little body and he's sitting on a chair and he's standing up and he's jumping in the air and he's going ready for fight somebody and all these different poses. Somebody at the door. And this kind of frees up my mind. It frees up the flexibilities of what I can achieve. And that has got to be one of the greatest feelings of any artist, that you can basically draw and feel whatever you want. Now, I know that there's a lot of people that keep saying that they're worried about doing this and they're unsure about doing that, and that's fine. That's so. But the only person that's going to change that, the only person that's going to step away from that, is you. And the only way that you are going to get better is by drawing more. Not being afraid of it and drawing less. So if you think that by being afraid and stepping away is going to help, it's not. It's definitely not. So draw more is my reply to that. If you're afraid of drawing and you're afraid of making a mess, if you're afraid of screwing up, draw more. Not less. Draw more. Draw until you get to the point where you feel like you can draw a simple structure of a body doing running, sitting, riding a bicycle, whatever. And the only way to get past that is to draw it 1,000 times. Now, I've never drawn this character before. But I've drawn this structure, this humanoid creature structure 1,000 times, 10,000 times. You know, I remember working at Disney, we had these life drawing sessions. And I thought that I kind of knew how to draw a body. But we used to sit in these sessions and they would bring in these people. And they would, because we were working mostly on animation, they would teach us about 15-minute poses, 10-minute poses, 5-minute poses, 2-minute poses, 30-second poses. And each time they brought that time down, at the beginning when they go from like 15 minutes down to like 10 minutes, it's a panic. But once they start bringing it down to like a 2-minute sketch, a 1-minute sketch, a 30-second sketch, the adrenaline kicks in and you start to draw from somewhere very deep inside. You know, you try to look at the drawing of the person in a different way. You look at the pose in a different way. You look at it in a way that you're saying, well, how can I capture the essence of that pose? If someone is standing like this, what is the most important part? And you are sketching instantly the important parts of that pose. And almost to the rest of the pose doesn't matter. And I feel from those early lessons, I learned so much. I mean, you know, there's certain people that you don't sit next to, like my mate Paulie, you know. You don't sit next to him, because then your drawing's not going to look as good as his. You know, you have to be a little bit kind of like clever about sitting somewhere where your drawing's going to look not too bad, you know. And for sure, in the Disney days, there was a lot of people that were incredible. There were people that would come in at a very young age that were just sensational. Now here I'm trying to give it a structure of a animal kind of paw. But my point is that, you know, if you come in and you're like 20 years old and you're a genius, fine, but that's a different speed and that's a different level to where you are. So don't compare yourself to somebody that is infinitely better. You're really comparing yourself to what you've been learning and how you've been learning. And that's the only way. You need to look at yourself over a couple of months. Look back at some of the drawings. I often do it. I often will pull up a big stack of drawings and I'll think, right, I'm going to put those away, going to put them up out of the way, and as I'm packing them up, I'm looking through them and I'm thinking, whoa, that was interesting. what you did that day. How come you did that different? Why were you doing? Oh, right, yeah. And I started to look at my drawings and I started to think, well, it's very interesting the way that you did that format. It's very interesting how you put the lines down like this or like that, and I'll learn from my own exploration, my own kind of finding, and that's such a beautiful stage to be at, where you kind of now we're going to give him a little fluffy tail because I've still got this kind of man hare creature in my mind, and I don't know, maybe it was the fact that I drew a man and then I drew a hare. And I'm kind of like, my second brain has kind of said, oh, let's do the hare, and my first brain is saying, no, do a man. You know, so I'm kind of like, I can kind of see where the two brains have clashed. Huh? I like that. Now the difference here is that I'm not going to draw a hare's legs, because I feel like it, to have that manly element, to have that humanoid feeling, I do feel like he needs to have human legs. So I will kind of do that a little bit different. And the point about that I'm trying to make here is that you really need to take your drawing to an element, to an area where you're kind of trying different things. And maybe by doing it in an ink drawing like this, it's probably not the best way for most of you to kind of do it. But in your sketchbook, get in and put down a man form and build an elephant around it. Like an elephant man, as it were, you know? Or go into it and draw a horse man, or a hare, or a tiger man. And this will give you the power of taking a structure of a person and basically bringing him into the realms of mystery, and putting a structure of a man and then an animal coating to it, an animal cover, will give you that understanding of both elements, and I think it will give you a lot of confidence. And remember, also, before you get too kind of focused about other people looking at your drawings and other people, what other people are doing, and other people are drawing this, and other people's style is better than my style, and other people are going to laugh at my... Stop. This is about you. It's you, okay? This is about you learning to draw, and you learning about what you like to draw and how you like to draw. A style is something that will just come. It will come to you. You will start to draw with crayons. You will start to draw with charcoal. You will start to draw with ink. You will start to draw pencil, whatever. And that will give you a step in a direction. I drew with pencil for years, drawing animation, and then I had this idea to draw something in ink, and then I just got obsessed with it. I got obsessed with the whole beauty of it. And it's the same with my scratchy line. My scratchy line became something. It wasn't really there. It just, as I drew something, I started to draw it quicker and draw it faster and draw it messier. And I started to love that how a splash of ink can just make something look so beautiful. And that is how my style has kind of developed. And you're starting to feel now. You can see that if I was to take the head off, put a man's head on, it's the body structure is what's the important part here. So for those people that are enjoying the drawing, I have put a tip jar at the top on my YouTube page. At the top they'll see a PayPal me. If you want this channel to continue, you're very welcome to put in a tip of whatever you want, however much you want, to help this channel survive. And it doesn't matter how much. You could put in 50p if you want. But it also gives me the feeling that the people that are supporting me want this channel to continue and want this format to continue. And in the new year I will be concentrating, well, not concentrating, but I will be doubling up my efforts into doing some more breakdown, because so many people have asked me about, like I explained about the structure of human form at the beginning of this. Now that's just a rough kind of idea, and it can go on for, you can go on and talk about it for hours. But I need to know that you're interested. I need to know that you enjoy my mad ways. Drawing the other foot there. So any small donations would be absolutely lovely and greatly appreciated by both me and Mr. Miro. And there is our lovely creature. Draw some grass in there. And my name is Kieran Siemens, and I love to draw for you. So if you do have questions, if you do have suggestions, if you just want to tell me that you like the drawing and you live in wherever you live, I would love to know what part of the world you are in. Already there's so many people from so far away in so many different countries, and it's absolutely amazing to know that all these people are there around the world watching me draw. It's incredible. It's the same with the auction. The people that were buying it, are sending things off to Switzerland and America and loads of different places, and it was absolutely fantastic. Now, there is our attempt to draw some kind of humanoid, monstered, mythical creature sneaking through the jungle there, sneaking through the grass. And he is extremely happy to be there. I'm just thinking whether I need to put some kind of pattern on the scarf. And these are little details that you can go in later on and add to it. So if this has helped in any way to break down that myth of drawing a human body, then please let me know. And if you would like me to draw and explain more, I would love to. I hope today you will draw. I hope you're drawing right now, to be honest. I hope you're drawing along at the same time as that I'm drawing. I would love to know that. I know that some of you do. And it fills my heart to think that you're drawing at the same time. And remember that whatever you're drawing for you. Okay? You're drawing for your pleasure, your entertainment. And love your drawing. Love your own artwork. Okay? Very important. And that is today's drawing. I'm going to put a lovely big frame around this one. And if you haven't subscribed, why not? Get over there and subscribe. Go on. All right, let's get some slightly wetter ink to go along. Oh, I've just dropped a brush. Great. Can you see it all? Yeah, you can pretty much see it all. Lovely. And there is a beautiful framed drawing. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. And I'm very happy with that drawing, and I hope you are too. I would love to know what you think about today's drawing. And if there's anything in there that you would like to talk more about, would you like to just say hello? I would love to hear from you. Okay? So thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate it. And that is today's drawing. It's kind of like a mythical hare man thing. Thank you very much, and I will see you again very, very, very soon. Bye-bye.